Next tonight, he became known as the Affluenza Teen for the defense he attempted to use after a fatal DUI crash. That he was too wealthy to know any better. Now, 20 years old, he walked out of jail today.
4 innocent people dead, 9 others injured, a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit, and a 16-year-old killer who walked away without spending a single day in prison. This is the story that made America question everything about justice, privilege, and accountability. The story of Ethan Couch, the teen whose lawyers successfully argued he was too rich to know right from wrong. A defense so outrageous, it spawned a new term that would haunt the American justice system forever: affluenza. On a warm Texas night in June 2013, a drunk teenager driving 70 miles per hour in a 40 zone would forever change how America views wealth and justice. Ethan Couch wasn't just any drunk driver. He was the son of millionaires, raised in a world where money solved every problem. When his reckless actions killed 4 innocent people, his defense team didn't argue innocence. They claimed he suffered from affluenza, a psychological condition caused by being too wealthy to understand that actions have consequences. What followed would become one of the most controversial legal cases in American history. June 15, 2013. Started like any other Saturday for Ethan Couch. The 16-year-old was living alone at his parents' second home in Burleson, Texas. His parents had essentially abandoned him there, claiming he was preparing the house for sale. That afternoon, Couch and friends stole beer from Walmart. They returned to the empty house for a party that would end in tragedy. As night progressed, Couch and 7 friends decided to make a beer run. Despite having a blood alcohol content of 0.24, 3 times the legal limit, plus marijuana and Valium in his system, Couch got behind the wheel of his father's Ford F-350. Couch began driving erratically, speeding down narrow roads, playing chicken with oncoming traffic. Meanwhile, 24-year-old Brianna Mitchell was stranded roadside with a flat tire. Youth pastor Brian Jennings stopped to help. Holly and Shelby Boyles emerged from their home to assist. The impact was catastrophic. Couch's truck plowed into the group with such force that bodies were thrown over 50 yards. Mitchell, Jennings, and both Boyles' women died instantly. 9 others were injured, including 2 passengers who suffered permanent brain damage. What happened next would redefine how America thinks about privilege and justice. Facing 4 counts of intoxication manslaughter and 2 counts of intoxication assault, Couch's wealthy parents hired a team of high-powered attorneys. If tried as an adult, their son faced up to 20 years in prison. But the defense team had a different strategy, one that would shock the nation. Psychologist G. Dick Miller took the stand and introduced a term that would become infamous: affluenza. Miller argued that Couch's wealthy upbringing had so severely impaired his ability to understand consequences that he couldn't be held fully responsible for his actions. According to Miller, Couch's parents had taught him that money could solve any problem. When Fred Couch found his son driving at age 13, he didn't punish him. He threatened to buy the school. When police caught 15-year-old Ethan with alcohol and an unconscious 14-year-old girl, there were no real consequences. Miller painted a picture of profound dysfunction. Tanya Couch called her son her protector and had him sleep in her room. Fred Couch gave his teenager access to unlimited money and vehicles. Neither parent set boundaries or enforced rules. The message was clear. Ethan Couch had been failed by his parents and shouldn't be failed by the justice system too. The prosecution was incredulous. They presented evidence of Couch's extensive history of illegal behavior, his complete lack of remorse, and the devastating impact on the victims' families. They argued that affluenza wasn't a recognized psychological condition, but a desperate attempt to excuse criminal behavior with wealth. In December 2013, Judge Jean Boyd delivered a sentence that would spark nationwide outrage. Despite killing 4 people and destroying multiple families, Ethan Couch would serve no jail time. Instead, he received 10 years of probation and was ordered to attend a rehabilitation facility that his parents would pay for, at a cost of $450,000 per year. The public reaction was immediate and furious. The term affluenza became a lightning rod for discussions about inequality in the justice system. Critics pointed out that poor defendants, especially minorities, regularly received harsh sentences for far lesser crimes.
To send this kid to the penitentiary.
But this same judge sentenced a 14-year-old, not affluent African-American child, young man, who killed one person after punching that person and they fell down and hit their head. This judge sent that 14-year-old to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for 10 years. And that kid is going to be in there till they're 19 years old. And if they violate their rehab program while they're in there, they may go to the adult justice system. So why is that okay for a 14-year-old poor kid, but for a 16-year-old well-off kid, they get to go have equine therapy? Does that seem fair?
There actually are black people who have money, Anderson. I don't know why you continue to make this a racial thing there.
Well, because I'm not saying that black people don't have money.
I treat all races.
Well,
The message seemed clear. If you're rich enough, you can literally get away with murder. Eric Boyles, who lost his wife and daughter in the crash, expressed the frustration felt by millions. The judge had underestimated the impact on the victims, while overestimating the value of rehabilitation for someone who had shown no remorse. The families of the dead received settlements, with one victim getting $2 million, but no amount of money could bring back their loved ones. For 2 years, Couch managed to stay out of trouble, at least publicly. But in December 2015, everything changed. A video surfaced on social media showing Couch at a party where beer pong was being played. While it wasn't clear if he was drinking, any involvement with alcohol would violate his probation. Knowing he faced potential jail time, Couch and his mother made a decision that would prove the prosecution's point about their belief that rules didn't apply to them. They fled to Mexico. Using $30,000 from Tanya's bank account, they disappeared just before a mandatory meeting with Couch's probation officer. The manhunt was international news. The boy who was too affluent to understand consequences was now a fugitive from justice. U.S. Marshals tracked them to Puerto Vallarta, where they had dyed their hair and assumed false identities. Their downfall came from ordering pizza. Authorities traced the phone call and arrested them on December 28, 2015. The image of Couch being hauled back to Texas in handcuffs was satisfying to many who felt he had escaped justice. This time, there would be consequences. Couch was transferred to adult court and sentenced to 720 days in jail, 180 days for each person he killed. His mother was charged with hindering apprehension and money laundering. The Ethan Couch case exposed how America deals with wealth and justice differently. The fact that affluenza could be seriously argued in court highlighted the different standards for rich and poor defendants. While Couch received treatment and probation, thousands of less privileged teenagers faced harsh sentences for non-violent offenses. The case revealed failures in accountability among the wealthy. Fred and Tanya Couch created a monster through neglect and indulgence. Their son's crimes were extreme, but wealthy parents buying their children out of trouble is disturbingly common. Law enforcement also failed. Couch had been caught drunk before. He stole beer from Walmart hours before the crash. Each missed opportunity to intervene contributed to 4 preventable deaths. Ethan Couch was released from jail in April 2018. He remained on probation with strict conditions, including drug testing and GPS monitoring.
Answer it.
Ethan, do you have anything to say to the families of your victims?
Ethan continues to be remorseful, as he has been from the first day of this tragic event.
Couch, the so-called Affluenza teen, said to be too spoiled to know right from wrong, went directly from the Tarrant County Probation Office into a black Tesla.
His mother, Tanya, served less than 3 years of a 5-year sentence. Fred Couch faced his own legal troubles, including assault charges. The victims' families continue living with their loss. Some receive settlements, but all say they would trade any amount to have their loved ones back. The case remains a rallying cry for criminal justice reform. The Ethan Couch case forces America to confront uncomfortable truths about justice and privilege. A teenager killed 4 people while driving drunk, yet initially served no jail time because his wealthy upbringing allegedly prevented him from understanding consequences. The term affluenza became a symbol of how the rich play by different rules. This case isn't just about one spoiled teenager. It's about systemic inequalities that allow wealth to purchase lighter sentences. It's about parents who fail their children by never teaching accountability. Most importantly, it's about 4 innocent people whose lives were cut short by someone who believed consequences were for other people. As of 2024, Ethan Couch is a free man. But the questions his case raised remain. Can money buy justice in America? Should wealth ever be a defense? How many more Affluenza teens are out there, waiting to kill? Click the subscribe button for more juvenile crime cases.